What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. What doesn't kill you makes a fighter. Footsteps even lighter. Doesn't mean I'm over, 'cause you're gone. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Hey everybody, Emilie DeAngelo here, host of Balancing Act of Life. And what does that mean? Well, what we do here is we cover every aspect of anyone's possible lifestyle, life, all the different things going on, and we try to help you look at it from different angles and help balance it to make it healthy and happy. And today I have a very interesting aspect of life. It comes from a nutritional value, but a little bit different, out of the ordinary. I have Bob, and Bob is with, well, tell Bob, tell us what you're with. And
all right, my name is Bob Biernbaum. I live in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey, and I am Bob's Angelic Organics. It's an urban farm where I grow organic vegetables for people and myself.
you do local, commercial, what do you?
Local, individual people, families. I'm not at the level of doing commercial yet. I hope to expand to incorporate that.
Okay, that's great. Tell me a little bit, how and why has all of this become your passion and all your time consumed?
Growing up, my family always had a garden. We always raised tomatoes, peppers, squash, all the stuff that we ate ourselves. And it's always been something that I've enjoyed. And then I always thought I lived a healthy lifestyle until I met you several years ago, and you helped me.
And I ruined it for him, guys. That's what he's trying to say in a nice way. I ruined it.
She educated me in what clean eating is, what healthy living is.
So healthy versus clean is what I discovered. Healthy and clean were two different things.
And it was a kind of an eye-opening experience for me, because I always never really paid much attention to organics. Yeah, I ate plenty of vegetables and fruit. And then when you look at it after learning about your experience and what you went through, it really opened my eyes as to what are we putting into our bodies that we really don't know about. And you can...
And what do you mean by what we're putting into our bodies and what we really don't know about? Kind of emphasize without attacking, obviously.
The chemicals that we put on our food to make it look pretty, and that even being aside, our produce comes from so far away that just from sitting on that truck 2 or 3 days to get to where it's going to market, it loses a lot of its nutritional value, where somebody like myself or another local farmer that you may know of, you can go to and get the stuff right then and there. It's fresh, and it's not being transported hundreds of miles to get to where it's going.
You always hear about everyone saying support your local farmers, buy from them. Do you think it's just from nutrition based? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's very important to support the local farmers, because A, they're a part of the community, B, you're buying right from the source and it's close, and you're not really going to get any fresher unless you grow it yourself, which is always an option.
Now, you've always told me that transportation, the transporting of it too.
Transporting of it is, a huge part of the deterioration of the products, and especially non-organic. They have to pump, most of it's treated, so it stays fresh. So organics, it's always better to get it closer because you're getting it at its optimal nutritional value.
Yeah, and that's important. That's important for everybody, for your body, for your cellular structure to keep healthy. You've heard it here, balancing act. So, one more question, because I like to classify and just understand things myself. Are you an urban farmer? What is urban farming? You know, I mean, I know this is beautiful here, and we're going to show you guys everything that he has here, and Bob's going to go through things just to give you an idea of what he does, and then give us tips in our following episode about doing your own garden wherever you live. But what urban farming?
Urban farming refers to using somebody else's property to garden. So in a homeowner situation, there's somewhere like 75 million acres of land that are being grown as turf in this country.
Turf, you mean sod?
Sod, grass.
Oh, okay, sod, okay.
In a homeowners type situation.
Not for our football stadiums?
Oh.
I mean, we got to have it for our football players, okay, right?
So what I would do is say someone doesn't want to, I'm tired of cutting my grass, I don't want to do anything with it, and they have a usable piece of ground that's close to where I'm at, I can go look at it and say, you know, well, I can turn it into, I can farm it, give you a part of the crop each week as payment, and then for the use of the ground. So I may have
So it's like a co-op? Would it be a co-op, or would it be not a partnership, but...
No, because technically it would be more like a lease. I'm leasing the property from you, but you're getting...
almost like barter.
I guess barter in a way. You're getting, you know, a share of the crop, the produce that I grow as payment. Then should you decide...
It's a great idea.
...not to continue, then I would, when it was done, I would return your yard back to what it was.
What it was to begin with.
But I would,
That's
you know,
wonderful.
so I would generally like, you know, a 3-year
agreement. Right.
Um,
Okay. That's a wonderful idea.
But because the land is the number one expense for any type of farmer, and here, you know, we have so many millions of acres that are available, and if we can return some of it to an organic state, I mean, people are dumping millions of pounds of fertilizer and pesticides on it because chasing that perfect lawn.
Right. Everybody wants that beautiful green lawn and
Green
keeping up
lawn.
with the Joneses.
You know, so this is an option where, all right, you don't have to worry about taking care of it. I come in, I turn everything over, I set up the beds. I will have to, you know, hopefully have access to water. And then I maintain the garden as far as like making sure weeds don't get out, you know, weeding and stuff like that.
That's a great idea. It really is. It's a great idea. And I'm hoping, I see more and more of people getting, you know, understanding organics, understanding how important getting the minerals in the local farming. And I'm hoping here at Balancing Act of Life, we can really get out to people more and have them consider what you're doing with the urban farming. And in the next episode, Bob's got many other ideas about communities and people, of how they can farm together and come together as a community, or just different ideas. You stay tuned for that, but that's next. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a second and we're going to take ourselves over. I'm going to take my shoes off and get my feet all grounded, because I don't know if you know, grounding yourself in soil and just having your feet on the earth really does so much cleansing for your body and gets you reconnected. So give us 2 seconds and we're going to go over and we're going to show you this magnificent farm just right here in Little EHT. Look everyone, it's kale, and I think this is the best. Bob here is going to go through this absolutely beautiful garden here and just kind of show you everything and feel it. Look, we're barefooted, we're getting grounded in the sun. It really is a wonderful thing. Go ahead, Bob, take over and tell us what we got going on and why and anything you want to tell us and share.
Right here I have about 20 foot by 30-inch wide beds with various greens and various states of growth, from lettuce to Swiss chard behind Emilie, kale. This was a mixed Asian green that I harvested on Saturday, and it's already starting to come back, and I'll be able to cut that again in a couple of days.
This is what I had taken. It's got a little bit of a spice to it, right?
Right. It
Yeah,
has
this
a
was
lot
great.
Of, various mustard leaves in it and arugula. And this leaf here is a red mustard leaf, and if you eat this by itself, it tastes just like brown deli mustard. It's really good.
It is. It got a good spice. Lewis would like that.
And I have a spring mix. Now there's some farmers grow the various components separately and then mix it. I tend to just buy the seeds already mixed and plant it. So then, like I said, I cut this on Saturday. It's already going back.
I have this on my Facebook posted. He cut it all down. It
I'll
was
be
great.
able to cut this 4 times. I'll be able to get 4 harvests out of this row.
Wow. That's crazy.
I have some spinach behind Emilie. Now, my germination didn't really come up as heavy as I had hoped.
See the spinach, everybody? Got this.
And then I
Great.
just replanted the other greens a week apart. So there's more of the Asian green,
Oh, so these are, here's a little spicy. Okay, I got you.
the spring mix, and the spinach again. So these rows were planted, these 3 were planted 1 week. The following week I planted the other 3. So that gives me a leeway so I can cut this 1 week, cut that, then by the time the following week, this should be ready to be recut again.
Wow.
So it's like a rotational. Something new I'm growing for the first time this year, it's called a watermelon radish.
Oh, now did you harvest any of them for me yet? Because I had, whatever marriages I had, they weren't really like bitter. They were really just kind of nice.
No, because these take twice as long as the standard radish.
And that's what I had.
They
Okay.
get almost as big as a beet, and they're red inside instead of white.
Oh, you had said that.
And
That's so
they're
cool.
sweet, so they actually look like a watermelon. Hence
Oh,
the
how cute.
term watermelon radish.
I would think your restaurants would love stuff like that because it gives it, you know, that, what is it called? I know this now because I'm like a Food Network weirdo. Plate appeal? Does that sound right?
Plate appeal.
Yeah.
Is it plate appeal?
Yeah.
Look at that. I got something right today.
And then I have your regular round radishes here. These are just about ready to start harvesting. That's about the size you want. Now you could
Look at this, guys.
You could take.
How
that
cute
lid
is
off
that?
and-
Now you're saying we can cook these.
They usually you can. But
What would you do with
normally
them?
People use them in a salad, slice them.
Oh, all right. So put them in a salad then.
Slice. A lot of times I'll just, if I'm out here, that's exactly what I do. Just take the
See, I
root
like
off,
these. These are good.
and a lot of times that's my dinner.
But raw, whole food from the earth, organic. We can't do anything better for our bodies than that. Do you hear me, guys? You heard it. You heard it here, right on this farm. When is this planted? What is the time? Are we starting in April? Are we starting back in March? We're seeding them. Just real quick, because I know we're going to cover that in the next episode. But when everybody's looking at this beauty here, when were you out here with it? When is
This year I was a little late. I got started in April, where a lot of the greens, the kale, the chard, the spinach, I probably could have planted late in March.
Okay.
And if I had put them under cover, I probably could have started them even earlier.
So the normal person, they're
The
going
normal
in from
person
April.
can start them in April, the greens in April, because things like kale and chard and spinach will tolerate a light frost. And
Okay.
actually, kale gets better after a frost. And it's actually,
Really? I didn't know that.
it's better, it gets sweeter. Like if you plant it in the fall and it gets a frost and some cold weather, it really gets, it has a much sweeter
All right, good.
taste to it.
Very good.
But that'll grow. It can be. I've seen fields where it's in snow. There's snow on it, and it's still
okay.
growing. Same thing like with parsley. If parsley's established,
There's no killing it.
there's no killing.
Yeah, I agree.
There's no killing.
See, that's why kale's so good for you, everyone, because it can withstand so much. So it's very good for your body and your cellular structure. So when your body's fighting disease and that stuff's in your cells,
Yes.
fighting for you. Kale, man, I don't want to hear all you kale haters. There's plenty of ways to love it, so find your way. Now we're back on the other side of the garden where this big black tarp is that Bob, who's very smart with these things, puts this tarp down in order to get a new section, but it makes it a lot easier by putting this down and killing all the dead sod under it so he can till it, and it just makes things a lot easier. But tell them everything, the process, and why you have this
This
section.
is basically called a stale seed bed process, and it's a process that farmers can use even in a bed like this, where you put the black plastic down, and at first the heat makes the weeds germinate and grow, and then the black deprives them of the sunlight, so they die. So you're actually sterilizing the ground and
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
and producing a weed-free environment. Now, underneath here, about 6 weeks ago, looked like that. Now the grass and whatever is here is dead, so now I can just come in and till
Oh wow, look how easy that is to move.
till this under, and then this will provide what soil here with some organic matter. And then
Wow.
this area here, I hope to plant, be ready, have completely ready, and my bed's made for August planting.
Now that August planting, is that going to be what you spoke of about
Right,
the
that's
kale?
gonna be for the a fall harvest, September, October, into November.
And that'll be the kale.
Kale and the greens, the lettuces, any of the hardy greens, from bok choy, which is an Asian green, to the kale, to the chard, to the spinach, the salad mix, carrots, because they can over winter.
That's wonderful. It's really great. So really year long, you might not get exactly like, because I love watermelon. I'll sit there and just eat a whole watermelon every night. I know it's not good for my tummy, but I can't help it. I cut that baby in half. I eat it with a fork, and you've seen me.
Right. Well, our bodies aren't designed for that. Our bodies are designed to eat seasonally.
Oh.
Um,
Dr. Wayne Pickering, he talks about that all the time, about food
we're not
combining and
supposed to
seasonal.
eat strawberries
Yeah,
and
you're right.
blueberries in the wintertime. We're supposed to be eating, the cold weather crops, the root vegetables, and things like that. So that's the way our bodies are designed.
Yeah, yeah, he's an advocate for that, so you're
And
dead
that's
on.
That's the another advantage to supporting your local farmer is you're going to get seasonal.
Seasonal, and that's good for you. It's
vegetables.
better for you where you're living.
And
Okay.
that's almost the whole premise between, there's a, people may have heard of the farm to plate, and that's kind of the whole.
That's kind of what we're going to be doing with you. How about
green bean.
fermenting? Do you do any of that? Can we?
Fermenting's very easy.
Okay, see that,
and
guys?
just
Look at
like
this. I just got like 4 more episodes.
You need, the only thing with fermenting, you need a lot of some refrigerator space because it has to be refrigerated.
Okay, that's the process. Okay.
Versus canning, where you can leave it in a closet. Now, canning, again, the excessive heat kills a lot of the nutritional value. Where fermenting, you're using the vegetable and seasonings to ferment it and produce an acid. It takes generally about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. Koreans are famous for it with their kimchi.
Yeah.
My dad used, when he was fought in the Korean War, talked about it all the time, where you could smell it in the fields, and they would go out and dig up the crocks.
Oh, okay.
They would literally fill the crocks with whatever the vegetables in the fermenting liquid, and then bury them, and then go back weeks later and dig them up and eat.
That's great. Wow. I would die out anywhere. I wouldn't know what to do.
So-
I would eat the wrong berry every time.
But these are for me. These are for the birds.
Oh, you see that, everybody? Look how kind he is. These here are all for him, the blueberries, but the birds are always eating them, so he decided this year, let me put the netting on there. But he was kind enough to leave the other ones for the birdies. How sweet is that? Good job, Bob.
This is a pear tree, and I do get a lot of pears.
Oh, that's great. Oh, look how cute they are.
I do get and I planted the pear tree because my last name Biernbaum means pear tree in German. That's
Oh,
why I
that's
have pear
wonderful.
Fun thing.
Now, what kind of pears are they?
tree.
Because they look like
Bartlett, I believe.
they're the Bartletts. Okay, very nice.
And then I have
And this is exciting. It's the peaches.
peach tree.
They're cute.
And you can see I have a lot of, I don't know if you can see them up there.
Oh yeah, look at them. There's a lot, and
Well,
they're
I'm hoping
fuzzy.
In years past, I haven't gotten any because they've all just dropped from a fungus. So this year, I pruned it to let more sun into it, and it's not getting as much. I rearranged my sprinklers so it's not getting hit with water as much. So I'm hoping that
Okay.
I get, some peaches out this year.
Now you had said before, you know how good the harvest is going to be by how much is dropping. Was that or just something you knew that mean anything?
No, it's just something I've always just picked. I mean, it's just they just always dropped. I don't know if it's because of rain. If I get a heavy rain, or squirrels getting up there and knocking them off.
So when you're at work, they're up here going, "Hey,
Yeah,
George,
they're-
get this one."
Smorgasbord.
Well, you
that's
got
okay.
a wonderful
That's
smorgasbord
okay.
here.
The bees need it, and that's the other thing with organics. You hear so much about how the bee population is dying off.
Right. I made sure I left so much. The dandelions out this year,
That,
so many. I really have. I've been trying to
organic-
post that on PH Healthy
Organic
Facebook.
growing, farming is so important. Just not
For
only for our
everything,
health, but
for
for the health
everything.
of the environment. And I
We
mean,
do.
It's,
It's not just about us, it's about the generations
It's
to
about-
come,
I
and we
mean-
have to have respect for that.
right, and the ancient cultures respected
Yeah,
the Mother
That's
Earth,
true.
where
that's
we're
true.
just learning to.
Well, you know what? We got to start somewhere. Let's look, we're moving forward. Let's not look back. Let's just keep on
I
going.
mean, so that's my really my passion is hopefully to touch someone to see, okay, now you don't necessarily need as big an area as this to grow clean, healthy vegetables. You can do it in a windowsill. You can do it in a aluminum foil baking pans, bread pans.
This is Emilie DeAngelo with A Balancing Act of Life at TLBTV. Thank you.